everyone, so with more and more Xbox Series X shipments are dropping in retail stores and online, more of you guys are finally getting one. Again, I got mine at the end of January. I waited absolutely ages, but basically I wanted to make a video about the Xbox Series X and my experience after using it for 2 months. The quality of life improvements on the Xbox Series X are so impressive, so let me explain more. I've been thinking a lot about how to explain my feelings and how to sum it up in one, catchy sentence. And I think what I've come up with is that the Xbox Series X is what the Xbox One should have been. So to allow me to explain further, I think the 8th generation of console gaming, so the Xbox One, the PS4, brought a lot of issues with modern gaming. In the PS1 and the PS2 and even, the PS3 and the 360 era, it was very much you pop a disc into your console and play. That really went away with the Xbox One and the PS4. I think with the Xbox Series X, it solves that issue. So for example, I think the big headaches of modern gaming is, software updates for the console itself, your game has come out with new patches, and also if you get a new game, that whole process, you have to wait for the game to install from the disc. The game has a big day one patch that has to download from the internet or has additional updates that you want to download from the internet. And that was just a huge headache with the Xbox One and the PS4. And Microsoft has solved that on the Series X with several solutions. So allow me to go into that further. The first one is that the console stays on 24/7 if you allow it to. During setup, you can have it be either, in eco mode or more convenient mode, which is I have no shame on choosing, but basically the Xbox will turn on during the night sometimes and will install software updates. If your game has any patches it needs to download, it will do that for you. And all it means is that when the weekend rolls on, you can basically turn on your Xbox and your game is there waiting for you and you can just hit play and play. And that's usually like when your software updates and your patches kind of begin to mount up. Then you'd finally get 3 hours to yourself, and before you know it, 2 hours have passed because you're waiting for your patches and your updates to download, and it's just not fun anymore. In that time you could watch the movie, or by this point you have to go to bed or you have to go back to work, and it's just really inconvenient. And the Xbox, that whole generation was a mess. But the second and even more impressive feature that no one is talking about, this, is the Xbox app for your smartphone. Because on this app, it will actually allow you to download games remotely onto your console, which is like a huge game changer. That brings back the immediacy to gaming that we'll have lost with the PS1, the PS2, and even the PS3 and the Xbox 360. We lost that immediacy with gaming with the Xbox One and the PS4, and it has come back with the Xbox Series X. Now, it does require a mindset change because you're saying, you have to download the game remotely from your phone. Think about, for example, walking into a game shop and picking a game off the shelf and paying for it. Just as how you go through that whole process. If you go through that process of, okay, this is the game I want, loading up your phone, typing the game title into the app, and then just hitting, download and install, it's basically the same thing. It's a different way of doing it, but you're doing the same thing. So a really great scenario was, it was a working day. I was probably having lunch and I was browsing some gaming websites and I saw an article about something, but basically I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts again. That was the highlight because I played it growing up and I was like, let's play this again because I never finished it. It was a game more my sister played. So being able to type it into the app on my phone and then download Kingdom Hearts remotely onto the console without having to turn it on myself and go through that whole process. But then coming back to the console, in 4 hours time after my dinner, the weekend has begun, but all of a sudden having the game, waiting there and ready for you to play is huge. It's exactly like popping a disc into a console and playing. I didn't have to go into the store, wait for it to download and, wait 2 hours. That was such a huge pain point of the Xbox One for me, which I really did not enjoy. I didn't enjoy gaming during that time period at all, but it's just been a huge quality of life improvement, and I just really enjoy gaming so much more on it now. The games haven't changed. I'm playing the same titles. The graphics, I suppose, are better, but it's nothing mind-blowing. It's not like going from PS1 to PS2, or even from 360 to Xbox One. And I think here is where I can kind of tie in the more popular features like quick resume and being able to switch between multiple games at once. That is also really impressive. That has actually more changed my gaming habits. For example, one thing I like to do now is I like to play different games for different moments. So when I start a gaming session to kind of just, as a warm-up, I suppose, I like to do like Forza Horizon, and then the main beast of the gaming session, whatever, whether it's Fortnite or I'm doing Kingdom Hearts still. And then being able to finish off your gaming session, with a light game of Forza again, or something like Minecraft or something silly, or The Sims. I think it's just a really fun way to play games, and because again you can switch between them really fast, that's just really wonderful. And again, it is just a really great quality of life feature. But again, the bulk of this video was just me talking about the app and being able to install games remotely, it is a game changer in terms of how you play with games. It has brought back the spontaneity to gaming that we have lost when we went digital and we lost, discs. So I have discs here, and honestly, I'm actually thinking about just going fully digital, because during the pandemic, obviously, we were going to game shops, and like I remember buying Resident Evil 2 on my Xbox, and I was like, this is nice, just being able to get a game, instantly from the internet. And now with Game Pass and with being able to remotely download games, it's just become much more enjoyable. Another thing I want to talk about is Game Pass. So Game Pass, 99 cents for 3 months. Steal, sign up for it, cancel it after if you don't want it. And just being able to revisit titles I've never played before or just never finished. Or actually, in terms of games like Forza Horizon 4, these are games that I like racing games, but I never spend hard-earned money on them. Because games are expensive, right? For me, it isn't so much about, I'm not going to buy this anymore. It's more about access to things I would have never bought anyway. So like racing games, or maybe first-person shooters, which I actually don't really love that much, but being able to play something like Gears 5. It's all just been a great part of that experience. And I know for a fact that when the new Tomb Raider comes out, of course I'm going to buy it. I would never wait for that game to, go into Game Pass, a few years later. It's not going to change that type of habit. But being able to access more and more of games you would never have previously bought in, I think is a big win for everyone involved. Some other quick thoughts I have about the Xbox Series X. The controller is the best it's ever been. I like the texture of it. It is nicer than the Xbox One, which is very glossy. The Xbox One is nice. It's just one of the things where when you get your hands on a new one, it's like, how could I have ever gone back? And that's just how I feel about the controller. It's a great controller. The other thing I've done is, you can kind of see it here, I had to take the top shelf off of my gaming cabinet. I had about that much clearance, and I just don't think it was enough. I don't think it was enough for the console. I mean, I didn't experience any bugs or any issues, but it was hot, and taking that off and just even standing over and seeing how warm it feels, seeing all the heat come from the console. If you are an Xbox Series X owner or you're planning getting one, I would definitely consider putting it somewhere that has a lot of ventilation. Perhaps maybe you're a PlayStation fan and you're thinking about buying one because more of these are in stock. I think now is a great time to be an Xbox gamer. I think even if you've got the Series S and Game Pass, that's a great combo. And as I just said, being able to download games instantly onto your console. I don't know if you can do that with PS5. Maybe you can do that with PS5. If you can't, do it. It's fantastic. But being able to do it on Xbox has just been really great. And again, gaming in general, this has been made really fun with the Series X. No new flashy games, no new flashy graphics, but just really great quality of life improvements that has just made the 9th generation of gaming, interestingly, really great. I mean, I think a lot of people were just going to be disappointed by the 9th generation. Graphics are better, but games overall still look the same. No, it's these quality of life improvements, because gaming, for me, at the very least, is fun. No more stupid software updates, no more having to wait for things to download and install. You can finally just play a bloody game again really quickly, and I think that just can't be overstated enough. But if you guys like this video and you want to see me do more gaming videos in terms of technology, do drop a comment down below and let me know. And also let me know what is your favorite feature of the Xbox Series X if you have one already. And if you don't have one already, let me know what feature you are looking forward to. Because maybe you're looking forward to more of the flashier stuff. The 4K, the 120 frames a second. Everybody likes what they like, but I just thought the quality of life features have been just really outstanding on the Series X, and I just wanted to talk about them, and I was so excited to talk about it. But other than that, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to stay tuned for future technology videos. I hope you guys are keeping safe and well, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.